So it's soul work, emotional work, subconscious work, whatever you want to call it, spiritual work. I hope it goes more than just spiritual. Emotions and mind psychology is extremely useful, and physical body as well. All of our psychology needs to be, and the psychology, the emotion, the spiritual energy aspects of ourselves, the more enduring aspects of ourselves need to be tied into the physical body. If there's something going wrong in your physical body, there's aspects of either emotion, thoughts, or some spiritual or karmic thing going on with your soul work, pretty much. So you can address physical problems through those means as well, plus also physical stuff. If you're someone who doesn't exercise, that's a big issue. Start exercising. Do the smallest thing, even just regular walking. The physical body is in a physical world that requires maintenance. It's under the effects of gravity all the time. Gravity has an effect on the body over years. The effects of the weight of the mind has a huge effect upon the physical body. So in Tai Chi and Qigong, the physical body is the first thing. Start with the physical body. We don't leave the physical body, in terms of there's always going to be physical things going on with mind training or emotional or spiritual training. So there's some things, if you're not looking at your inner work, and what that means is you're accepting and acknowledging and honoring the stuff that's inside you that's unfinished. So that people struggle with deep shame, grief, sadness, resentment, guilt, anger and rage. Those kind of things, they're all devastation, hopelessness. They're all parts of the unfinished work. If you feel really uncomfortable with these kind of emotions, that still needs to be worked with, so you haven't accepted that's a part of you and it's part of your psychology. And what's inside those deep things is actually huge amounts of wisdom. It's like nuclear fuel, especially if you're not looking at it. It just builds and builds. That's what the subconscious does. It builds that thing that you don't want to address, or you don't even know you need to address. It builds and builds and builds until it's so loud that you have to address it. So the ways that people deal with these deep things inside them, that if they don't know how to accept, honor, acknowledge, you don't even know you need to do that to start working with it. What you do is you eat food at a certain time. When you feel a certain emotion, you start eating food, and sometimes there's certain types of food. People often go to cheese. Eat lots of cheese when they feel depressed, because there's a serotonin inside of it. Or chocolate is the same as well. Loud music is drowning out the thoughts. It's putting a different influence that's aiming to be louder than what's happening inside of you. Watching TV where your mind just switches off and you just engage in something more external. Excessive exercise, that was me for years. I chose that art that required a lot of exercise, with the idea you're actually entering inside your body even more. And that worked, but at the same time I didn't have tools of how to work with the inner psychology that was coming up. So especially when you're tinkering with the switches of your own consciousness and the consciousness of the switches of your body, you need to know how to work with the stuff once the stuff is working really well. Going into relationship after relationship and not being able to sit with loneliness and alienation and things like that. That's another way of covering up these things. Anything that's addictive, any addiction. So drinking, smoking weed, all that sort of stuff. Addiction to drama, addiction to anger, all these addictions, they're all showing you where you're disconnected and where you need to do more work. And it's a pain in the ass just seeing it in your face over and over again, but once you start working with it, it's like, oh, that valve is opening there now, and my life is getting easier, and there's a better lightness inside myself. I have more connection than I've ever had, and because of that I can connect not just to myself better, but to other people, and things are just better. And at the end of that road is a deeper sense of yourself and a greater freedom inside and happiness.